Hello, this is Ash,
And Ari.
and we just wanted to say that this will be our Series 1 finale, and it's a double feature, which is very exciting. We're trying something a bit new.
And it's also a bit full circle because Holly was one of our first guests for the show. And so for this double feature, Holly's joining Ash as a co-host.
Well, we hope that you love this episode as much as I love my beautiful wife, which I'm not sure will be possible, but you could try.
You are ridiculous, as always.
We'll be back at the end for a bit more ridiculousness and again to thank you guys because we cannot believe it. We've done a whole series.
Thank you for listening wherever and whenever you are. We'll talk to you again later.
Welcome to the UK Planner Podcast. I'm Ash.
And I'm Ari.
This is your unofficial guide to the UK planner scene, with not much knowledge,
But plenty of opinions.
with plenty of special guests.
Or sometimes just the two of us.
Either way,
We hope you enjoy.
welcome to another episode of the UK Planner Podcast. And as you can probably see from the description, I am not alone. I have someone very lovely with me today. Hello, Holly.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very excited that you're here. You're coming here to co-host an episode. Obviously, people know you from SWPC, so it's lovely for you to come and join me.
Thank you. I'm really excited to chat and to co-host this episode with you. Feels like an honour.
We've left the co-host chair ready for you,
Oh, thank you. It was warm and toasty waiting for me.
Put the little seat warmers on.
Oh yeah, I could do the seat warmer in my chair at home.
Every time we describe what kind of podcasting space we have, a virtual one, it's been like a tent, it's been a podcast studio. Now I'm saying that it's a chair. I don't know. I guess that's a podcast studio, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like we could describe some like plush studio that we're sat in right now with like furry blankets and chairs, and there's someone at the side bringing us drinks, and we could totally like big this up, couldn't we?
100%. You probably walked past the merch stall, the snack bar.
Yeah, we've got a
Oh.
film crew over to our right and a director like to our left. We've got auto cues, lights, the whole shebang, Ash.
Whole shebang. We just choose not to, show it.
Yeah, we want it to be our little slice of heaven.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But yes, I have so much to talk to you about because I said this to you before we started recording. We are now a quarter of the way through the year, which means by now we should have an idea. I know it's crazy. We should have an idea of how our planners are doing. So, Holly, take it away. How is your 2025 planner treating you?
I think, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, I'm like holding the desk.
Oh.
I think this has been my best year yet. So, I'll give you a bit of backstory. Always been a standard vertical planner.
Mm-hmm.
Tried like Stalogy and that kind of thing, but whenever I did something like that, I'd always draw in standard vertical columns. So I always thought I had to have a planner that I could use standard kits in.
Mm-hmm.
That was always this is what I need. So because of that, I've tended to have quite big planners because to fit a week standard vertically takes up quite a lot of space. So whether that's been Happy Planner, whether that's been Rings. Last year I was in a bound A5 wide from 1 ton in a million. But because of that, I've had a lot of space to fill. And honestly, I'm not somebody who sits down for hours putting stickers in, decorating, filling in with things, whether that's before they happen or after they happen. I have a very busy life with, a busy full-time job and then a shop and then Southwest Planner Club. I have to use my planner functionally. And what I always found that I was doing was using my monthly. My monthly was almost like my holy grail. The boxes were big enough to put in obviously not detail, but appointments and,
Yeah.
things like that. I'd put everything in my monthly, but then I wouldn't be replicating it over to my weekly. So my monthlies would be chock-a-block, but then if you flicked through my weekly, I just had blank weeks a lot of the time.
Did you find it was like having to repeat the same things? You were just like, "Why would I do
Yeah.
that? I've already put it in." And like the monthly is so handy. It's literally just glance at it, you know?
Yeah, and it was really useful, but I was like, I'm not using the rest of the planner, so what's the point right now? Or if I did
Yeah.
write it in, I'd be writing it in purely for the point of writing it in. I wouldn't then turn and look at my week unless I was so busy that I had to write things in every single day, like lists or something. Like in the run up to SWPC, my planner is like
Mhm.
chocker. But otherwise, I just wasn't going to it. So I was going to say I was forced into what I'm using this year. That's a bit of a lie. The reason I say that is because I fell in love with a cover.
Right.
I fell in love with a cover from Aura Estelle.
Mhm.
This cover, which is a zip around, scalloped edge, light pink. I mean, if you can imagine a planner that is me, this is the planner.
Yeah.
So I fell in love with it and I was like, they only do it in A6. So I was like, okay, we're going to have to try A6. So currently I'm in an A6 bound Aura Estelle, which goes into this cover.
Yeah.
And it's got a horizontal week on one page. And then you get 3 blank pages for each week. So picture that in your mind. The left-hand page just has the horizontal, and then you get a little sidebar on that page, and then the other pages are just completely blank like a stalogy. And the monthlies are too small for me to use.
Oh.
But that is a good thing because that means I'm using every single week in my planner.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Like I'm putting it in, and because there's not loads of room, I haven't got that thing of like, oh, this looks awful because there's loads of space that I'm not filling in.
Mhm.
I think pretty much I've used my planner every single week so far and decorated it. That might be like a few little stickers. That's not a kit. When I went to this, I had to resign myself to the fact that kits are a thing of the past if this is what I use, because
Yeah.
it just isn't viable in a planner like that. But I have used it every single week and I love it. I love the size because in its cover, it's small enough that it can go in my handbag. It comes to work with me. I went shopping yesterday and I took it. Like, it's small enough that it can just do that, but it's not like something that's rattling around, gonna kind of get
Yeah.
lost. I think if I was going to make this magical planner, but it literally
Mhm.
would be magical because it would have to change size, I would have B6 for the horizontal weekly layout because that would give you a little bit more room, but the blank pages would be A6. But I don't think I can do that.
I don't think physics will let you do that.
No.
Because 3 pages, I think, oh, like, you can't even say, "Oh, well, I'll use half page." Are you just kinda, like, using as much space as you need that day, as much as big or as little as you need?
Yeah, so I don't really use it on a daily. What I tend to do is I tend to
Mm.
go and do some planning and I come and sit down and I decorate. So
Yeah.
obviously you've got the one page which is next to the weekly, and then you have a double spread of the two. So I decide, okay, this week I'm going to use paper shire stuff, and so I get my paper shire stickers out, my die cuts. What I'm really trying to use this year is my
Mhm.
stuff. I'm determined to not have drawers and boxes full of stickers that I'm just not using. I really am
Mhm.
just trying to embrace and use everything. So I sit down and I just kind of like go to town a bit, sticking things in. I then just write in around it. So some weeks, if I've got a lot on, I might like have a page for Southwest Planner Club, page for work, a
Yeah.
page for home, that kind of thing. Sometimes I would be writing meal plans in and a shopping list. I'm not being too like, I'm not trying to make it really aesthetic. I'm just trying to make it work for me. So if someone flicked through, some weeks there's crosses through things, there's ticks. Like
Yeah.
I've taken it with me into Tesco and crossed out shopping as I bought it.
I'm hoping I'll have you on again this year, and I'm hoping to kind of like check in with you and be like, is it still working? Are you using it the same way?
Yeah, and to look at it, like flick through at the end of the year and see kind of like whether there was a pattern.
Yeah.
But as of now, I would say I'm not necessarily saying this is planner piece. I don't know if we ever truly, if that even is a thing.
Oh, then I'm about to tell you something a bit controversial.
Dun, dun, dun.
I haven't found planner piece in a specific book, but I think I've discovered the way that I plan,
Okay.
which I think's still a pretty big, like, thing.
Yeah, so tell me about your year so far and what you've discovered.
The whole idea of it originally was that I was only gonna plan when I wanted to plan, and if I missed a day, I missed a day, and that's it.
Yeah.
There is no back planning. Because I had a Hobonichi, I would then see these blank pages and get upset.
Mm.
But I've actually ended up planning every day. But, like, some days it will be, like, 2 full pages. Some days it will literally be about maybe, like, the length of my little finger, you know? Like, this tiny, tiny little section.
So if you do a page where you just do like a little paragraph,
Mhm.
does the next day just start straight underneath it, or are you still?
That's it. Yep. Just put a bit of washi.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, like, every month now I'm picking a different sticker sheet with, like, numbers on it. So I just usually piece a piece of washi or just a number sticker, and then I know the next section has started. The only thing I'm finding is you can't really, like, plan ahead.
What do you do for appointments, or like if you have a meeting, or?
That's what my beautiful wife is for. So my planning is not functional at all. It is so my wife, she will put it in the family planner. Um, my personal planner, which I use for work, I use for everything, junk journaling, fancy stickers, everything. One planner, astrology, that's it. And if I've missed a day, I've missed a day. That's it. Not going back. But I haven't missed a day, which is really weird for me.
I think we put so much pressure on ourselves sometimes to do this conventional planning, or this we should do this, we should do that. And then I do find, like with you, when you were using a Hobonichi, like when you look back, you almost feel guilty and like just, I don't know, I just felt horrible when I'd go through my planner, and last year, like
Yeah.
so many of my weeks were just blank, and I'd feel like that was such a waste. And then I'd get to say Christmas, where I've got some beautiful Christmas kits that I wanted to use, and I'd be like, I can't use those now because that's a waste because I've not used the rest of the planner. So I can't do it. Yeah, and I think we sometimes do put so much pressure on ourselves with it, whereas actually we either want it because we need it to be functional, and I need mine to be functional, like this is where my whole life's appointments and whatever go, or we want it to just be nice and fun and memories. And yeah, I just think we need to kind of give ourselves a bit more of a break, maybe.
You know, life will happen whether I hit all of my goals or none of them.
Yeah,
So, you know.
definitely. And I think I've always been so like, I've been a bit of a planner hoarder, like a sticker
Mm.
washi hoarder. Like I love to buy new stuff when it comes out, but I just put it in an album or in a drawer and don't actually use it. Partly because I wasn't doing loads of planning, but also partly because I'd just be like, oh, that's too nice to use. And now, like at the beginning of the year, I was like, that's just stupid. It's a sticker. Like, Holly, like I wanted to shake myself and say, like, you're being ridiculous. And like this year I really said this was like the year of change for me, and there's a lot happening in my life. And I was like, no, like this year I'm gonna use the stuff. I'm gonna just change my attitudes to it all. I found it interesting, like actually at the beginning of the year when I was like, I'm going to sort everything out, and sell loads of stuff, sell my kit, sell like quite a bit of stuff, that I was looking through things and I was like, some of this I don't actually even like anymore. Like I bought this and now my likes and stuff have changed, and actually I'm not even like interested in some of this stuff. Like I bought loads of Honeybee Shop Disney sticker books. Now I do like Disney, and I still like Disney, but I just looked at it and I was like, what made me buy all this? And I think that's also the problem with that kind of culture of hoarding stationery, is
Mhm.
that we keep it for so long that then we change and it becomes irrelevant, and then it just feels like a waste.
And it probably would have brought you so much joy at the time if you'd used it.
Yeah, and so it's like a bit disappointing thinking, actually, why did I hold on to it? Why didn't I just enjoy it? I think a lot of us are like it. We get that gorgeous washi tape, that unicorn, thing that we're looking for and hunting for, and then it's like, "Oh, I can't use that. It must just sit in my washi drawers."
Do you have any washies that were unicorns to you and you got them and then you were like, "Oh my god, I love this. I need to now go buy another 3."
I don't think I do actually. There are still some unicorns that I would love to get, and they are TCMC washi tapes. Some of the OG planning ones and like the pink ones, like I'm sure you can imagine the kind of ones. There was a few Galaxy ones that, like, there was a lilac one, and that was a real kind of unicorn, but then actually there was something quite similar brought out,
Mhm.
again, so I bought that. But I don't have any washi tapes where I have ones where I do have more than one of it. That's usually just down to an accidental purchase or a freebie or something. I don't think I own anything where I have done that. And I think that's probably because my unicorns have been older ones that I've discovered later on, and so you can't buy 3 of them. You can barely even buy 1 because 'cause they're just so hard to get your hands on, but no, I don't think I do that. Do you?
I do. So, I found my unicorn after having a washi for years.
Okay.
I used it and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm obsessed." And it was the TCMC Rainbow Retrograde, I think it's called. And it was like this galaxy rainbow one. It was like, her galaxy ones. It was a rainbow one. And I'm gonna be honest, I got a bit obsessed with it. So much so that, like, I was like, "No, I'm willing to pay a ridiculous price for it." And I literally was looking out for it, looking out for it, looking out for it. And only for Ari to be like, "Yeah, I just found some more in your collection." And so I just spent ages going, "I will spend any money on it." 'Cause when you just get a bit too obsessed for your own
Mm.
good. And Ari literally one day said, "Oh, do you want me to sort through your TCMC washi?" Because I think we were getting the subscription, so we were trying like make room and stuff.
Mm.
And she went, "Yeah, I've just found a load." Yeah, I think during the pre-order you might have just ordered loads. And I was like, "Oh,
That's
oh,
funny.
right." Bit embarrassing.
Is that your all-time favourite washi tape?
I think so. I think so, and I don't use it that often, despite now knowing I have several.
It's funny, isn't it? You
Yeah, I don't actually use as much TCMC washi, and I used to.
No.
When I had, like, a TCMC specific planner,
Mhm.
but also I have this crazy idea, but I think a lot of people are gonna do this, where when Helen gets to close to 365 washis, I'm gonna do a planner where every day I do a different washi.
Oh, that would be nice.
And, like, I'm waiting for her to get to about, like, the 350 level, and then
Mhm.
I can start doing it. Because then I'm like, "Well, then
She'll
by the
release
time I
throughout
get
the
to the end of
year.
the year."
Yeah.
Yeah. But I bet you any money, everyone's gonna do it. I don't know if everyone has all of like, if you can, like,
Mm.
ask for samples, I guess you could do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've got about 20, so I'm definitely not gonna be doing it. Um, but yeah, there's definitely people out there, I reckon, who've got every single roll.
Oh, yeah. Either they were OG fans or they like, don't have a kidney anymore because they sold it to buy some of the OG ones.
Yeah, the prices are just insane, aren't they, that people sell washi tapes for?
Absolutely insane. Did you like it when we first met? Because I don't remember you liking it then.
not loved it. Like, I think the thing is, what it is, so I don't really like the little emoji people, and I don't really like any characters like that. In fact, I don't really like characters, full stop.
Mhm.
But what I do love about Helen's washi is the scenes, and so, like, I can see them here now. So, like, the little ones in the clouds with the galaxy and, like, the Lucky Charms one where she's got, like, a little headband
Yeah.
on and a rainbow, that's what I like, and that's what I think I'm attracted to now. So,
Mhm.
it's not that I, like, see past the characters. I like it because the characters are within a cute scene. I never buy the ones where it's like if it was a white washi with a black emoji head, I wouldn't buy it. That wouldn't appeal to me. And even some of the ones where they're quite big on the washi,
Yeah.
there's got to be a lot of other stuff going on for me to be like, "Oh, I love it." But I do really like her stuff now, but at one point I was just like, "Oh, no." But now I'm like, "Why did I think that? Because I missed out."
As we were talking about earlier, people's styles change. Like, there was something, what was it? Amy Tangerine. For a while, I was obsessed with Amy Tangerine.
Oh, really?
But the reason I was obsessed was because I had a ticket to the big meet. So I was like, I want to have an Amy Tangerine happy planner
Yeah.
and then get Amy Tangerine to sign it.
Yeah, I think a lot of us thought that, but that didn't happen.
And yeah, and I got 2 thinking, "Oh, well, definitely by the time I finish the second one, I'll be able." No, she still hasn't signed it. I haven't had a chance to meet her, so, you know.
Yeah, I didn't I'm glad I didn't buy one in the hope that she would.
Ah, well. Ah, well, I've got a Stalogy now.
Yeah. Who do you want to sign your Stalogy?
I don't think I really am that pressed about, like, the maker of Stalogy signing my Stalogy.
No? Oh, Ash, I was gonna arrange that for you.
Ah, damn it.
Just pop over to see you to sign your Stalogy. I can just picture it, you'd be like, "Who are you?"
But, like, sometimes people are like that, like, you'll meet like, oh, it's okay, have I ever told you the story? When I once went to Disney World, and the grandson of the guy who invented Twinings tea was there.
Okay.
Nobody wanted to know him.
I'm not really surprised.
They'd flown this guy over from England, and, like, and he was in, like, the England Pavilion at Epcot. No one cared.
I mean, it's just tea, and, I mean, tea's nice, Twinings tea's good, but the grandson as well, it's not even like it's the man himself. It's kind of just like saying, "Oh, like, the great niece of the man who started WH Smith's over there," and just be like, "Oh, wow. Whoop, whoop."
Whoop, whoop.
Obviously, they expected it to be a big pull to have him in the England Pavilion.
Yeah. But then saying that, they fly actual English people out to be in the shops and stuff, so, I mean, it's all about flying people out, right?
I heard a really interesting fact about Epcot today, which I didn't know. And it's funny that you brought up Epcot, and I heard this today. I was watching a vlog this morning
Mhm.
of a family in Disney, and I didn't know this, you might know this, but in Epcot, obviously they've got all the different countries, and the tourism board for each country had to pay for their country,
Mhm.
which is why some countries are much better than others, because it depended what they wanted to pay, and that was how good their one was, because they basically funded it.
I didn't know that.
I thought that was quite interesting.
That's quite good. So, here's my fun fact. They have a cultural exchange program where for a year you can live on Disney property. There's, like, dorm rooms and everything, and you get paid a wage. It's not
Mm.
a big wage, but it is a wage, And basically,
Yeah.
like, if there's a pavilion, you will work there. So, like, there's an England pavilion, a China pavilion, and they actually have people from those countries go work in, like for example, with England pavilion, there's an old sweet shop and a fish and chip shop. You basically can go work there. If your country has a ride, then you can be a ride operator.
Say if I went into the English pavilion and there was someone English working in there, I think I'd find that almost a bit odd in a way. But I think if you're from another country, that's good because then they can like really immerse you into what it's like. I think if you visited your own country, that might feel a bit strange. But I think when you visited the others, it would make it much more real, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like if you went into the French pavilion and there was someone there who could tell you all about France, you'd be like, fair enough, thank you.
Yeah, that would be quite good, wouldn't it? Like, if you went in and it was just an American who didn't know anything about France, you'd be a bit like, okay.
I love that we've just got on to Epcot.
I know. I've never even been. I just watch too much YouTube. I feel like I've been. I've lived through YouTube. Do you have a favourite YouTuber?
I don't. I think I vary who I watch. I watch a lot of like video gamey stuff because I like my video games. I've recently got into. Do you know who Christopher is from PlanYourTruth? So he was on, I think, like the last year they did the Happy Planner Squad.
Okay.
And he did a lot of like reels and stuff before he was on that. He still does a lot of reels and things, but he now has one called Plan Your Adventures because he moved to Florida and now so he still has his planner YouTube where he does his plan with me's and stuff. But he also does like adventures and stuff around Florida and things because he's like a Disney travel agent. He's really cool. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of his content recently, actually. I'm kind of the kind of person who will not watch someone for ages and then binge a load of their content. So yeah, and I really liked his Go Wild footage. He's just so enthusiastic and lovely.
I probably would recognise his face, but the name doesn't mean anything, but I'll have to look him up. I always like discovering new people.
Yeah.
I'm quite a loyal YouTube watcher. I don't do what you do where I don't watch them for ages. Like as their videos come out, I watch them.
Yeah. Do you check your subscription feed every time you go on YouTube?
Yeah. I mean, I like finding new people, but I have my core kind of people and they really vary. Like they're not all planner or like I watch quite a lot of lifestyle hauls of things. But yeah, I've probably got like maybe 10 people that I really like watching, maybe 5 that like I absolutely always watch their videos.
Yeah. I like to plan and have YouTube on. That's always nice.
Have you ever thought about like recording for YouTube?
These are on YouTube, but they're just the picture. I don't think people need to see me. I'm really annoyed because Ari said to me after seeing you a couple of weekends ago, "Oh, did you get a picture with Holly?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I didn't get one, just the two of us." And then I was thinking, "Oh, that would have been perfect for the Instagram for our episode."
Yeah. Why? I can't believe we didn't do that. It's because you were sat on the other side, wasn't it? So like I got a picture with the two the side, but like
Yeah. There's a great picture of you and Ari. Great picture of the two of you.
can we just replace your face?
Superimpose.
Have you got any exciting adventures coming up this year?
Oh, okay, let me think. I'm gonna be honest. I'm going back to Japan. That's a big thing. But that will just be me doing lots of Studio Ghibli things and also just restocking a lot of planner stuff because their stuff is insanely amazing. Like you will get things that like maybe over here would have cost maybe 15 quid and you go there and it's like 4 quid. And it's like, what? So I'm looking at flights at the moment for that. And I'm only accepting flights that come with 2 bags because I'm like, nope, can't do one suitcase again.
Will one of them be pretty empty?
Oh, both of them are going to be pretty empty, Holly. Literally, the carry-on will be all my clothes, and then it'll be 2 empty suitcases.
I love that.
No, I'm taking it seriously. I'm buying Studio Ghibli things and planner things and pen pally things. I've really got into my pen palling now. That is like my new thing that I'm kind of a bit obsessed with, is pen palling.
Tell us about that.
Oh, I will. I actually think I put more effort into my pen pal letters than I do my planner. It's really weird, but I've put myself in a bit of a hole because with all my pen pals, I'm doing a rainbow themed thing where like the first letter is red and then it's orange, yellow, each of them. At first I thought, oh, that makes life easier. No, it doesn't, because suddenly I'm like, oh, I now need to find something that's orange. So I'm now actually having to buy things that are the colours of the rainbow. So much so that the last planner event I went to, I said to Ari, just get me anything that's red, orange, or yellow. That's the colours that I need the most at the moment. Anything red, orange, or yellow is great. Not for me. It's for my pen palling.
The next planner event you go to, where there's a swaps table, you're going to have to just get all the rainbow coloured stuff. And then when it comes to that colour, you'll have stuff.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think that the next planner event I'm going to, ironically, is your event. So if anyone's like, why is Ash just like stashing all of the rainbow colour things? I will say, well, you should have listened to the episode. You would have got pre-warning.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm going to look out for things in like yellow now that you would never usually want to use, but like you're going to need yellow one day, or green, or...
Yeah. I've now organised all the stuff that's like planner supplies that I'm willing to use for pen palling. I've got them in colour order now for the rainbow.
Very impressive.
Thank you. Thank you. The most impressive thing about me, I know how to colour coordinate my stationery.
Is that something to put on your CV?
You told me you haven't got a wedding planner, but that you're gonna like do some scrapbooking post-wedding?
Yeah. So when we first got engaged, the first thing I did was buy a planner. As soon as we were engaged, I was so excited because it meant I could get a planner. Like, and I had an excuse for another planner.
Yeah.
And that was just like, you know, not being engaged. The best news was I could get a planner. No, I'm joking, but I did buy an Aura Estelle B6, personal wide ring planner. And it's lovely. I may still have it. I can't remember if I sold it or not, but it was really nice. And I bought it and I got inserts and the whole shebang, and we were going to like wedding fairs, and I'd punch things and put it in, and I had little pockets, and I started using it. And then COVID hit, so we got engaged October 2019, and obviously March 2020 was when we were all in lockdown. So at that point it was like, this wedding is definitely not going to happen at the moment. And then we decided to buy a house, and so it all got basically put to one side. And so I was like, I don't need this planner anymore. I'm never going to get married. Like, it was a bit like, woe is me here. So I was like, I'm selling the planner. Then we obviously last Christmas, not Christmas just gone, Christmas before, we're like, right, now we're gonna start again. But at that stage I was like, I've had a wedding planner, not sure if I want one again. Like, do I need one? Because the thing I found with wedding inserts was they had a lot of stuff that wasn't relevant to me. So, you know, they talked about like fresh flowers and your first dance and your menus and all of these things that are just more than we're having. But I'm going to tell you something now which is going to be very surprising to hear, I think. And it applies to not only my wedding, it applies to Southwest Planner Club. I love to plan events on a spreadsheet. Silence. So I find event planning just works so good on a I can't even think to say the word now. Like my brain is like Holly, on a spreadsheet. So like for SWPC, I have a spreadsheet every year with about 20 tabs, and my wedding is basically the same now. So it's just all done on a spreadsheet, and I just find because there's so much chopping and changing, and like you write something like doing a seating plan, like I'd have ruined my planner because like I've changed it about 15 times.
Yeah.
So I just find a spreadsheet much easier. I do have a notebook that is a notebook purely for wedding stuff. So like I try and keep it in my bag all the time. So if I'm out and I think of something, I write it in there.
Yeah.
I have a wedding planning spreadsheet. You look very disappointed in me.
I mean, most of my like things that I know are changeable are on some kind of electronic thing. So yeah, I completely get what you're saying when you say you need something digital.
Yeah, and I think again, it's almost going back to that thing of when I talk about planning in general and that it's got to be really functional and work for me. And so, yeah, I've just found the spreadsheet really helpful. But what it isn't is pretty and memorable and, for
Mm.
my wedding, but for memories in general, I want that. So I am going to start, I haven't started yet, but I am going to start a scrapbook this year, a scrapbook / journal. So I've got a square archer and olive. I don't want it to be like, when you think of old school scrapbooking and it's like those massive
Yeah.
books that you like are bound with ribbon and you have to like open each page and it's
Yeah.
massive. That's not the kind of thing I want. I do want a journal sized thing, but I just wanted something that purely will be for memories and photos and kind of bits that I collect along the way, really. I've got a few things from the hen do
Yeah.
and, that kind of stuff. But it's not just going to be wedding, but I can imagine there will
Yeah.
be quite a few pages, obviously, for the wedding. And that will be my creative side of it.
Yeah. It'll be something nice to look back on, but also you don't have lots of scribble marks from, oh, actually, this person can't make it, so I'm replacing them with this person for the seating plan.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not going to be a journal or whatever that is for a specific year. I will just start it and then I will either have to stop because it gets so full that it is like a sandwich and I can't use it anymore, or I will stop it when it runs out. I'm not going to do it year on year because I've tried doing yearly journaly memory things and then they're not full, but I feel like I have to move on because I got it for that year. Whereas this, I just want to be a continuous kind of
Yeah.
stream.
Oh, I see. So is it like from the start of like you doing wedding-y things to kind of like the rest of your life?
Well, I hadn't thought of it like that. Wow. I don't think I'd get the rest of my
Yeah.
life in that journal, but it could be like that's when I start. Like, imagine looking back at that in 20 years that it
Yeah.
started on my wedding day. Oh, how cute would that be?
Yeah. I thought that's what you were saying. Like it was like your
No.
life as Holly Reid.
No, but like maybe that's what I need to do. I had thought that I was just gonna, because there's been things so far this year that I want to journal that I haven't yet. And I was like, I'm just gonna start like, when I've got all my bits together, I'm just gonna do it. But maybe I should start from wedding. It still will have things like Southwest Planner Club and other stuff mixed in though.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know if that will be a bit weird.
No, because it's a big part of your life, isn't it?
True.
And you've timed Southwest for after you got married, so it's almost like you've planned it.
Who knew?
All right. Well, we are going to take a little break. For anyone listening the day of the release of this episode, don't worry. The next part is coming out tomorrow. Not too long to wait. So if you are listening the day after, grab a snack, and then go on straight to the next part.
You love our listeners having a snack.
I love a good snack, and why shouldn't our listeners get time to enjoy a good snack?
What's your favourite snack when you're listening to a podcast?
It can't be too crunchy because then I can't hear the show.
Mm.
So, I love a good mochi. Like a nice, it's chewy, but not too crunchy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I hope everybody enjoys their little post-podcast snack. And we will see you guys at the next episode. The final episode of Series 1. Ah!
Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.